Welcome to Old Testament Introduction, OT500 online course for Fuller Theological Seminary, Winter 2020. I will be your professor this quarter. My name is Marilyn Lundberg-Melzian. I'm an affiliate associate professor at Fuller, and you can reach me via the email shown here, and you can also make appointments for phone and online contact. The course description of OT500 is that it is an orientation to the literature of the Old Testament in its various literary, historical, and theological contexts, and to Old Testament interpretation in service of Christian practice. There's a lot of the Old Testament to fit into one quarter, so the emphasis will be on the books of Genesis, Exodus, Deuteronomy, 2 Samuel, Job, Psalms, Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Daniel. However, there will be readings both in the main textbook and in course reserves for much of the rest of the Old Testament. The main required reading are the books just mentioned, the books of the Bible. I would encourage you to read through them, and I would encourage you, when possible, to read out loud. Reading out loud gives a very different sense of the text than simply reading it in reading silently. The three possible translations are NRSV, NIV, or CEB. Those certainly should be read. You can supplement with other versions, but those three are going to be the basis for our study. The main textbook is Robert Hubbard and J. Andrew Dearman's Introducing the Old Testament from Erdman's. You can purchase it. It is also available as an ebook from Fuller Library. There is also an extensive course reader. All of this will be listed in the syllabus, and in addition, all of the readings will be given in each week of the text in Canvas. There are a number of recommended texts that can supplement your reading in addition to the Bible, Hubbard and Dearman, and the course reserves. There are things like a number of dictionaries of the Old Testament. There's Michael Coogan's A Brief Introduction to the Old Testament, Women's Lives in Biblical Times, Christopher Hayes's Hidden Riches, a source book for the comparative study of the Hebrew Bible in the ancient Near East, King and Stager's Life in Biblical Israel, and Longman and Ann's Dictionary of the Old Testament, Wisdom, Poetry, and Writings. To get started, I suggest that you read the syllabus, the assignments, and the assessment tools, course and seminary policies, and the course schedule. All course assignments will be graded according to the policy, having to do with whether it's on time. All of this is outlined in the syllabus. If you need accommodation for disability, please contact Fuller's Access Services. The course schedule includes, for each week, readings and videos, and I encourage you to stay up to date with these. If you procrastinate and leave everything to the end, you're going to have a very difficult time getting everything accomplished. There will be 2 interpretive essays on a narrative text and a poetic text. The possible texts to right on will be listed each week. There are relative due dates for these two essays. There is some leeway. You can have more information in the syllabus. There will be weekly discussions to which you are required to participate. There's one larger interpretive assignment on a book of this one of the Psalms. There is a final exam, and the due dates are listed in the syllabus. You can check all of these course policies. Unapproved late assignments will not be accepted. I am always very willing if people are sick or have unexpected demands on them for various reasons. If you get a hold of me ahead of time, I am happy to work with you. Just not turning something in on time is not a good reason. You will need ongoing access to a reliable computer and internet. Attendance is marked by participation on a weekly basis. So in our case, since there's not a weekly assignment due other than the discussion, you will be considered to have attended if you have participated in that discussion. You are always free to drop or add a course through registration. And incompletes are very rarely granted. These are for extreme situations, and you must have completed no less than 75% of coursework for consideration. If you find yourself where you just are unable to keep up for one reason or another, it is best to drop the course. Review the student handbook policy and community standards on academic integrity, and understand what plagiarism and cheating mean and the consequences of that. Course support is given through correspondence by email. I check my email every day and I try to get back to students as soon as I can. I will be sending out periodic announcements, at least on a weekly basis, if not more often. Please look at Canvas on a regular basis and check your email. There is also a question and answer forum in Canvas. These are for questions that are of interest to the whole class. For personal kinds of queries, please write me individually. But the Q&A forum is usually reserved for questions about the text itself, about what we are studying. There is a prayer request forum in Canvas, and you can also request from me online meetings and reviews. And we can meet face-to-face on something like Blue Jeans or Zoom or some other platform. Just taking a look at the pages that you need to know in Canvas, this is the home page. Every week has a link to it. There's a link to the syllabus, getting started, question and answer, and finally exam week and final paper. Notice along the left-hand side are the various links to things like the syllabus, modules, pages, etc. The syllabus page has a link to the full syllabus in PDF format and also gives all of the due dates. It also gives the weights of the various assignments. Each week is set up as an overview. So in the first category, there is an introduction and weekly outcomes. Then a list of what readings are for that week. the videos that are available to listen to. This will be updated as time goes by. There are links to the discussion activities. The first one is easy. You just introduce yourself. And there might be something called Coming Up, which warns you of a coming assignment. So that's pretty much it. Welcome to the class. Please get a hold of me if you have any questions. I am always happy to work with you and meet with you in one way or another. Thanks. See you later. Bye-bye.